The latest. Thank you for all love and support. I appreciate you all. Today with my journey back home, you have to follow me. So you are just enjoying everything alongside with the latest. It is very interesting, you know, how our brothers and sisters in the diaspora, sometimes we expect them to also add their voices because they have the largest platform and people listen to them worldwide. But when it comes to things that matters to the African, we always see them to be silent and always add their voices to things that we think as Africans that is not much of a necessity. Our sister Minaj, according to her, what is happening in Nigeria, that the Congress and then Trump himself came out to tell us that there's Christian genocide in Nigeria, and for that matter he needs to come and intervene to set the Christians free. Minaj is praising Donald Trump for this beautiful thing that he claims he wants to do in Nigeria. But our sister never asked who is behind what is happening in Nigeria, because we know that the US Congress came out openly to tell the world that they are the reason to which we are seeing what is happening in Mali, Niger and Burkina Faso and currently in Nigeria, because per what the congressman said, that they are sponsoring Boko Haram, ISIS, Al-Qaeda, all the activities that we are seeing, these groups of people that are destabilizing Africa, they are sponsoring, and in the guys, they tell their citizens that they are using the money to support women in Afghanistan and in whatever, that we expect that now should have this information to tell the world that what the US Congress is doing is wrong. And for that matter, we need the United States of America to stop funding these people. Minaj only claim that in the United States of America, wherever she's coming from or wherever she is, she has the liberty to worship any god and any religion that she thinks that she likes. We all have the ability, the freedom and whatever to worship whatever we want. What we are seeing in Nigeria, that we are claiming that there's Christian genocide, is a propaganda, and this is how these people always invade Africa.
In Nigeria, Christians are being targeted, driven from their homes, and killed. Churches have been burned, and entire communities live in fear constantly, simply because of how they pray.
Nicki Minaj has given a speech at the UN highlighting what she says is the persecution of Christians in Nigeria. But how has she become wrapped up in Donald Trump's politics? And what's the truth behind those claims of Christian persecution in Nigeria? Let's start at the beginning. Nicki Minaj is a US-based rapper from Trinidad. She's famous for songs like Starships and Bees in the Trap. She first took to X to publicly support a post from the US president. Trump had condemned what he said was the Nigerian government's failure to prevent attacks on Christians. He wrote, "Christianity is facing an existential threat in Nigeria. Thousands of Christians are being killed." Minaj replied, thanking the president and his team for taking the issue seriously. The worlds of MAGA and Nicki Minaj continued to collide after the US ambassador to the UN, Mike Waltz, also posted. Nicki Minaj is not only arguably the greatest female recording artist, he wrote, but also a principled individual who refuses to remain silent in the face of injustice. He confirmed she would deliver this speech to the UN. Nicki Minaj then replied, "Ambassador, I am so grateful to be entrusted with an opportunity of this magnitude. The Barbs and I will never stand down in the face of injustice." The Barbs is what her fan base is known as. But what is Minaj talking about, and how true are the claims? Well, Nigeria has no official state religion, but Muslims and Christians make up approximately 45% of the population. Islam is the majority religion in the north, and Christianity is predominantly in the south of the country. Data shows that militia violence appears to be evenly distributed across both majority Muslim areas and majority Christian areas. Looking at this map, you can see militia violence is spread across the country regardless of which religion is dominant in the area. Widespread violence in Nigeria sadly isn't anything new, with violence often driven by multiple overlapping factors. Religion, yes, but also disagreements over land and resources and ethnic tensions. Nigerian government officials have repeatedly refuted the claims made by Trump. They've condemned violence across the country, but stated that Christians are not the only victims.
Yes, we do have religious issues in Nigeria. Yes, we do have security issues, especially in the northeastern part of the country, the northwest and the north central part of the country as well. People are being killed in the mosques. People are also being killed in churches. But what we want the world to know is that the drivers of this conflict are diverse, as they are very complex, because we have economic issues, we have issues of land, we also have religious issues.
Experts say that Trump's claims that Christians are being solely targeted ignores widespread violence across the country.
There is religious freedom. My repost was that, look, Nicki Minaj is a rapper, right, from Trinidad, Port of Spain, that she should just concentrate on Anaconda rap music and what's that fans called? Babs. This is not, as far as I'm concerned, she's chasing clout, even if she has been invited to this forum by White House advisor and also by Michael Walls. The thing is 1 o'clock, you said, Eastern GMT. Well, I think what we should do, since now the Americans are adding, influencers and all of that, we also have influencers here. Look, if I were to advise on strategy, by that time when Nicki Minaj is speaking, we should put Tiwa Savage on national television for Tiwa Savage to express patriotic opinion, to say that this is what Nicki Minaj, this is whatever she wants to say.
There's no Christian
whatever she wants to say.
Say it.
Whatever she wants to say, because this is not a matter for people chasing clout, looking for influence and all that. We can also have Tiwa Savage or other people to defend their country, whatever their belief is. That's what I think.
It's not about defending Nigeria. Killings are going on.
Well, whatever you say. No, I've not stopped. There are about 5 topics. I've just started.
We know the White House is arranging her speech.
With Sheikh Hasina, it's about polarity. We have this.
Who gets some of that money? Does that name ring a bell to anybody in the room? Because your money, $697 million annually, plus the shipments of cash funds madrasas, ISIS, Al-Qaeda, Boko Haram, ISIS Khorasan, terrorist training camps. That's what it's funding. If you think that the program under Operation Enduring Sentinel, entitled Women's Scholarship Endowment, which receives $60 million annually, or the Young Women Lead, which gets about $5 million annually, is going to women who, by the way, if you read the Inspector General's report, is telling you that the Taliban does not allow women to speak in public. Yet somehow you're believing, and American people are supposed to believe, that this money is going for the betterment of the women in Afghanistan. It is not. You are funding terrorism, and it's coming through USAID. And it's not just Afghanistan, because Pakistan's right next door. USAID spent $840 million in the last 20 years on Pakistan's education-related program. It includes $136 million to build 120 schools, of which there is zero evidence that any of them were built. Why would there be any evidence? The Inspector General can't get in to see them. But you know what? We doubled down and spent $20 million from USAID to create educational television programs for children unable to attend the physical school. Yeah, they can't attend it because it doesn't exist. You paid for it. Somebody else got the money. You are paying for terrorism. This has got to end. I yield, Mr. Chairman.
It was the same thing that they started when Muammar Gaddafi was alive. They told the world that Muammar Gaddafi was a dictator, and for that matter, he needs to go. And before Muammar Gaddafi left, we saw that the oil in Libya is no more. And today, look at the situation in Libya. This same US went to Afghanistan, Iraq, and claimed that they have a quick action that they want to do in these nations to set the people free. I don't know if she has asked what is still happening currently in these countries, because after the intervention of the United States of America, we are still seeing all these things that are happening, and the people are more in bondage than before. And it's the same thing that they are trying with Venezuela, and Nicolas Maduro and the Venezuelans all rose up to say no, and they are fighting to set their people free. So we expect our leaders and these our brothers and sisters who are there to listen to the right information, because these people sold a different narrative to the United States of America that they are using the money to support women. They always come in the guise of supporting people, but history told us that there is no country that the United States of America went to set free and there's something called freedom. When they leave, what we see, the little hell that they were having has become the heaven that they are now yearning for. So Naj wants to know who is funding Boko Haram and causing what is happening to the Christians. I think that she should ask the US Congress and not to praise Donald Trump for trying to come into Nigeria to set the people free, because there is nothing like Christian genocide in Nigeria. The people that they are unaliving, they are both Muslims and Christians, and that is why Africans, we tell you always that until we put religion aside, we can never move forward, because the moment we get to a point that we want to cross, these people will use one thing or the other to separate the African. Now they are using Christianity, religion, to divide the people in Nigeria. But our brothers and sisters in Nigeria, you need not to fall for this, because this is what they always do. They are never coming into Nigeria to set our brothers and sisters free. It is not because of your freedom. Nobody cares about the life of a black person. We saw what is happening to black people in the United States of America. In the United States of America, and we expect that Minaj will use her voice to tell the whole world that Black Lives Matter. But we are not seeing that, and we are seeing our sister coming out to tell us that what is happening in Nigeria is against humanity. But what is happening in Nigeria is as a result of what the United States of America is doing in Nigeria. So there is nothing like Christian genocide in Nigeria, and I don't see why they should allow people in the UN to come and be talking about this kind of things. We need people who are ready to support Africa. There are a lot of beautiful things that our leaders in Africa are doing, like in the Sahel, Mali, Nigeria, and Burkina Faso, that we expect you to use your platform to talk about, to promote these our leaders. But you are silent, and you could see the negative things that these people are talking about in Nigeria, which in natural sense is not true. These people are not coming here to set the Christians free. By the time they finish setting the Christians free, Nigerians that are yearning for Donald Trump to come in, the little hell you claim Nigeria is, will be the heaven that you beg for, and you will never get it. If we don't know anything, at least we should use Libya as an example, because ever since Muammar Gaddafi was taken away, we have never seen peace, and these people have finished sucking all the oil. They are oil religious people and not black religious people. Look at what is happening in Sudan. At least we expect our sister to come out to tell the world that they should stop what is happening in Sudan, because the Black Lives Matter. What is happening in Sudan is not a tribal conflict, but they are after the black people. It is a racial conflict, because they are after the lives of the black people. Arabs are attacking black people in Sudan, and we expect Minaj to come and talk about that. What about the people that are dying in Sudan? Are they not also Christians? So why is the United States of America not going there to set the Christians free? This same United States of America went to Venezuela, that is a Christian country, and is bombing the people, all in the name of they have a dictator as a leader. So why will he now be attacking the Christians there and leave them all of a sudden to come to Africa to come and set the Christians free? We have known all their tactics now, and we will never fall for it. And if there is anything of that sort happening in Africa, our leaders, Tinubu and his government, that is their responsibility. That is their responsibility. They have to make sure that they bring law and order. Like they told us that they have whatever happening in Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso, and our leaders are taking control over it. So if African leaders don't determine what happens in the United States of America, what gives them the right to come to Africa to now come and set us free? Enough of always leaving their problems and coming into Africa to come and solve the problems in Africa. We are grown, we are no longer children, and we can take care of our affairs. They should just stop funding Boko Haram and we'll see peace and the Christians' lives will be saved. United we stand, divided we fall, and united we keep standing forever and ever. The greatest enemy of the African is mental slavery. So let's decolonize ourselves from mental slavery. Let's keep sharing to educate our brothers and sisters. Together we make African great for ourselves and the next generations that are going to come. So that's the latest around the world in the United States of America.